Hey, my name is Dillon Parker, and I would like to share with you my life-changing testimony. Almost 8 years ago, I was in a horrible car accident, and I'm going to tell you about how it brought me to the Lord. And first, I'm going to show you a video, and it's got some pictures in it, and the 911 call that you'll hear in the video is the actual real 911 call. Enjoy.
Johnston 911, address the emergency.
Yes, sir. I'm a utility fireman, and I just pulled up on an accident. It's one vehicle involved. He has hit a tree, and the person's still in the vehicle. It's off of the off-ramp at the 107 going, let's see here, going southbound. Sir? Hello? The vehicle's still running, too.
Okay.
I can't get in the vehicle. Let me get my shit out. I can watch the window.
Is the man awake?
It's on the on-ramp with it going on southbound at the 107.
Okay. And is the person awake? Sir?
Yes, sir.
Is the person awake?
Yeah, the person, that's what I'm trying to do is get to them now. They're not awake. They're not conscious.
Okay.
See if I can reach in the vehicle. Sir? He's dead. Sir? Sir? Sir?
All right, I'm going to let you go so we can go get him in round, okay?
Okay, all right. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll get right to it. Growing up through school and everything, I was a good kid. I didn't get into a lot of trouble. But by the time I got to high school, I got into smoking pot on the weekends, stuff like some, and drinking a little bit here and there. like a lot of kids try to do, get away from their parents on the weekends. And I pretty much did that whole way through high school, did it like that. Now when I graduated higie school, I ended up moving out on my own a year after. Now, when I moved out on my own, I didn't have to pay any, I mean I had to pay bills, but I didn't have to listen to my parents anymore. I paid my own bills, I made my own decisions. So really no one could tell me what to do and what not to do. So I got into drinking more, doing drugs more, and it picked up and ended up becoming an everyday habit. Well, I remember August 4th, 2010, I went to my mom's house to get some charcoal I was going to cook on the grill. And when I pulled up in her driveway, she met me outside and to give me the charcoal. And she said, "Dillon, I've been having some bad dreams about you." She said, "I keep seeing blue lights in my dreams, and you're going to get in trouble. I feel like you're going to get in trouble if you don't straighten your life up." And she knew I was on the wrong path and I needed to straighten my life up. But I told her, I said, "Hey, don't worry about it. I got this. Don't worry about it." And I took the charcoal from her. I got in my truck and I backed out. And when I pulled up to the road, the last thing I remember, I blinked my eyes and I woke up like a month and a half later. It's pretty crazy. But the story in between there, I get from, me being in the hospital and the friends that I was with that following day. But August 5th, the next day, a fella and I went to Wilson, to a bar, club, and we were drinking and everything. And we left there about 2 a.m. and it was rolled over to August 6th. We left there and went to Rocky Mount, met some more people that we were with that night, at a couple different places like IHOP and Waffle House. We didn't stay at either place long. And one of us got a phone call. Another friend was telling me that one of us had got a phone call at IHOP, and we left, and we got on Highway 64 to go back home towards Tarboro. And that was the last time anyone saw us. And that was probably around 3 a.m. maybe. 2:45, 3 a.m. I'm thinking. And the person you saw on the video that made the 911 call was a volunteer firefighter. He is actually the one who found us in Kenley on the I-95 exit to go south towards Smithfield. And I think it was around 5 o'clock, 4:45, somewhere around then is when he found us. But it was a 35 miles per hour on-ramp to get on Highway 95. And I slid off the road in the curb and hit a tree on my driver's side door. And the state trooper who come to the scene, he estimated me going 85 or 90 miles per hour. It was a 35 miles per hour zone. And the fellow who called in 911, when they got there, they tried to call in for the helicopter to come, and but it was too foggy, so they couldn't come. So they had to carry me to the hospital themselves. They had to cut me out of the car with the jaws of life. And I remember them telling me, because I've met all of them, and I remember them telling me that when they got me out of the car, they flipped me over, and they heard gurgling in my lungs. So they knew then that I had punctured my lung. And when they got me in an ambulance, that usually, because I met a paramedic, and he told me that usually they have to give a shot to numb your gag reflexes before they can intubate you. And he said they didn't have to give me a shot because when they intubated me, I had no gag reflex. But when they did that, I spewed blood all over the inside of the ambulance, is what he had told me. And he said he knew right then that I was going to die. I was not going to make it to the hospital. But they had a choice between to carry me to a Johnson County hospital or Raleigh, a Wake Med. But they made a choice to carry me to Wake Med, thankfully. So they took me there, and got there and did all the x-rays and everything, got in touch with my family. My family came to the hospital, and I remember they told me that a chaplain was waiting for them when they got to the hospital because they didn't think I was going to live through the night. Could die at any moment, so they needed a chaplain there to meet my family. And they told them all the injuries that I had. I had a traumatic brain injury, 2 brain bleeds. I broke my C1, C2, and C7 in my neck. I tore the tendons that pretty much hold your head to your spine. And so pretty much the only thing that was holding my head on was my skin and my blood vessels, and they called that an internal decapitation. Now 70% of people that happens to automatically dies right then. It's 70% of people. Now the 30% that do live, majority of them make it to the hospital and then they die. But a portion of them, they live and go through life with a lot of physical impairments and everything. But thankfully, I don't have any. I ended up, I also broke a few vertebrae in my back, my T2, T11, L5, my butt bone, my left elbow, which I broke 4 of my right side ribs, which had punctured my lung. I ruptured my bladder. I broke my left pelvis in 3 spots, and my left elbow. And the doctors told my family that I had less than a 1% chance of survival. So, you know, they already didn't think I was going to live, and they were pretty much saying, you know, he's not going to survive. It's less than 1% chance. And the main thing they were concerned about at the time was my brain injury, because my brain injury was so bad. I had a Glasgow coma scale of a 3, which is way they rated. That's the same as a dead person. I had pretty much no function. Anyhow, they ended up having to install a bolt in my skull to measure my brain pressure, because my brain was swelling. And when it would swell, they would give me medicine to ease the swelling and everything. But once they finally got that state where they were going to do the neck surgery, because I needed neck surgery, and I ended up getting pneumonia while I was in the hospital in ICU, and I had a bad coughing spell, and I coughed up and I fell back down. Well, after that I stopped moving, like my fingers and toes, and so they thought maybe I had severed my spinal cord, because they couldn't get me moving, and they would press my sternum and try to cause pain somehow to get me to do a little bit of movement, but nothing would happen. So they took me out and did my neck surgery. I got 2 titanium rods, a titanium plate, and when they brought me back in, soon after that, they saw me moving my fingers, my toes a little bit, and then they took me out of ICU, while I was in ICU, I was in a coma a few weeks actually, and took me to a step-down floor, and that's when, if you see in the video, the nurses tell me to move my hand and stuff. I don't remember that, you know. I woke up after they took me out of ICU, but I didn't know where I was or who I was or anything. And things started finally coming around, and I started finally, getting my mind back. And so I remember about 3 weeks of the hospital that I was in there. I was in there 2 months and 3 days. I was there from August 6th to October 9th. And I got out and had to do a lot of therapy. I had to do a lot of therapy while I was at the hospital: physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, recreational therapy. I had to relearn how to do everything. Where I had broke my pelvis, I couldn't walk. Where they had intubated me so quickly, they thought that they had paralyzed my vocal cords, and I couldn't speak for a while. When I woke up, I could only whisper, and I was wondering, and the doctors were also wondering if I would ever get my voice back. They didn't think they thought maybe I had partially messed my vocal cords up, and then finally, slowly my voice came back, and I started being able to move more, move better, and just relearn how to do everything. Got out of the hospital and had to do a lot of that same therapy outpatient, and still, being from drinking and driving and everything, is I got charged with it, drinking and driving underage, because it was August 6th when the accident. I was 20 years old. My birthday was August 24th, so 18 days shy of my 21st birthday. So, drinking and driving underage. I had a careless and reckless, open container, and it was in Johnson County. And at that time, that was the worst county in the state to get a DWI, because they were having so many wrecks and everything at the time. I mean, it still may be. So I had all these charges, and I remember going to court, and they would put it off, and finally they decided to see me. So I remember they called my name, and I stood up, and the district attorney stood up. He said the state was to voluntarily dismiss all charges. Well, it kind of took me off guard a minute, and I didn't really know what to think. And it hit me, and I said, man, they're going to dismiss all charges. And I just couldn't believe it. That's unheard of in Johnston County. But I believe what happened was a state trooper who come to the scene, he had heard that I was still alive 2 weeks after the accident. And he had come back to the hospital to see for himself, because he couldn't believe that I was still alive. And I actually met him, and he was saying how he had been a state trooper for 30 years or so, and he had never seen an accident like mine where the person lives. And so we had to come back to the hospital, just to see for himself that I was still alive. And I believe he kept up with me, and knew that I turned my life around. And I was giving testimonies and not drinking anymore and stuff, and I gave my life to the Lord, and I knew, hey, this is real. Because when I first looked up, I thought it was like a dream. I thought I was living in a dream. And finally realized that, hey, this is real. And, gave my life to the Lord. Straightened my act up. I stopped drinking. Stopped doing drugs. Really devoted myself to Him. And, after all that, after I walked out of the courthouse, the moment I walked out of that courthouse, I opened the door. Now, it was a church right across the street. And the moment I walked out, the church started chiming the old rugged cross. So, that meant something to me, like, hey, the Lord's got me. He's right here. He's with me through it all. And I left there, and I still was continuing to do therapy. And, I started giving testimonies in different churches. And I remember back in October of 2012, I went to a church to give a testimony, and I saw a girl that I went in high school with, who I hadn't seen in a long time, and we started talking and everything, and actually that's the woman I'm married to today, and we have a 2-year-old little girl, almost 2-year-old little girl. I couldn't be more blessed, and we just moved to the beach, built a new house. I have a wonderful job, so very blessed. They told my family that if I did live, that I would have the mentality of a 3-year-old, and that I would be paralyzed from the neck down. Thank the Lord, nothing like that happened. The only impairments that I have from the accident, I'm actually totally deaf in my left ear from the impact of the tree that I hit. I've been to the ear doctor, and they said it's not the eardrum. The eardrum itself is perfectly fine. It's the nerves, and it's just nerve damage, and that it could wake up, but I don't know. I know the Lord can do anything. My balance has gotten way better. Still throws me off every now and then, but nothing like it was. I mean, I'm fine. I'm very blessed. And, what I can say to you is I hope that, definitely hope you don't drink and drive or do drugs and drive, I hope that I am a living proof of what can happen to people that do that. Because I used to think that, hey, it would never happen to me. that it would happen to somebody else. And I hear about other people, and I said, man, that's terrible, you know. I hate that. Never thinking that it would happen to me. But it did. Just like it very well can happen to anybody else who does things like that. No one's exempt from getting away from anything like that. But definitely, please don't drink and drive. Please don't text and drive, or do drugs and drive, or anything like that. And I hope that this testimony has helped you grow in your faith. And if you haven't come to the faith in Jesus Christ, I hope that this testimony will bring you to faith in Him and show you that, hey, miracles still happen in today's time. Jesus Christ is real. God is real. This stuff is real. It isn't make-believe. All this stuff is real. And I hope that this testimony is living proof. I hope I'm living proof of what the Lord can do. And please, I ask you to subscribe to my page, like it, and share it also. I want to try to do weekly updates of biblical questions that different people have, and just biblical things in general. You know, things like that. But I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.